Good morning, everybody. This is it. This is the final week, the final 4 days, 5 days technically, of Toddler-Pocalypse. So I figured to kick off the sprint to the finish line, we're going to bring in the person who, without whom this doesn't happen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Diana Porter. Hi. Oh, hi. Hey, baby. Hi.
Hi.
Early, I know.
It's very early.
It's very early.
I'm not a morning person.
No, but thank you. Thank you for being here and in your robe.
I mean, when we met, I was literally every weekend I was singing "I'm a Creature of the Night." So you have no right to be surprised. But I was up until like 1 o'clock working on my next project. So
the thing that nobody tells you is you absolutely lose your ability to sleep in. So the fact that you can, and yeah, I had people scraping like it snowed again. Big shock to people who aren't in the Northeast. It snowed again, which meant at 5:15 people were shoveling. So but I could hear them trying to be like courteous. So it was just the tiniest little scrape. But it was enough.
I think it's the most New England thing in the world that we had good like 4 to 6 inches of snow yesterday. Wasn't on the news at all. The news, Tom Brady isn't in the Super Bowl. That's what everybody was focused on.
Mm-hmm. So, with Toddler-Pocalypse, like I said, 5 days away. I have, I might have the biggest microphone, but this thing doesn't start without you. And I think when you told me the original concept, I could just see it right away. I never bothered for the backstory. I was like, yes, let's play. So where did this come from? Do you remember what the seed was that made you go, huh?
I think it was a couple of things. And certainly at the time, you and I both had small children. And I think Logan might have still been in the toddler stage, and my kiddo may have just been heading into school age. And zombies were a big theme at the time. Walking Dead had just hit, and I've always loved disaster movies in general. And just the thought of the difficulty of parenting a small child, which it's wonderful in many respects, and then very, very difficult in others. Combining that with disaster, with this worldwide struggle, just became very interesting to me. And you and Tracy had a joke about Carl never staying in the house on Walking Dead, and he was older.
He should have known better.
Yeah, yeah. So it kind of sprang forth from that, and it's kind of funny. Like that was the first story idea, getting a child to stay in the house and not doing it, and then we got that with one of our stories, but it became like a side aspect of a story instead of the main story itself. So not a very interesting story in the end. It's just sort of just happened. And I don't remember when I told you. I don't remember if we were at a Comic-Con or poker or what we were doing.
My recollection, and again, I could maybe find the original document, that we threw all of our ideas together. I feel like it was like a text. I don't even feel like it was face to face.
And I do that. I definitely do that. I texted. I have different friends for different idea types. So you get the comic book ideas, and when we originally thought about this, I wanted to do a web series.
Yeah,
as we had just sort of put 664 Neighbor of the Beast to bed. And it seemed like, this could be the next thing, and this could be really interesting, and serialize the idea. But yeah, my dramatic and very overtly feminist film ideas go to my friend Andrea Willanen, who's a wonderful writer-director, and then my sci-fi film ideas go to Michael Whistler. And it's like everybody has their little ideas that get randomly texted to them.
Yeah, I think it was later than that. We had done Healed, and I think at some point I want to share that with everybody, because this is not our first collaboration on any level.
No.
But it was after that, and I think there was a bit of the, well, it worked, like you and I collaborating and kind of bringing our two worlds together. You know, the comic book and the comic book side, and you know, all of your goodwill and everything you had learned from the movie making side coming together for that Healed shoot, which is still just one of my favorite days like ever. And working, you know, it was a fun shoot, but I mean, it was professional. Like, we took it seriously. You know, we weren't two friends, we were two creators making a thing. And you know, I walked away from it, I was like, we could keep doing this. This seems to be a team that gets stuff done. But yeah, it was after that, because I think we kind of had that momentum and trust built up after that.
Yeah. And it was so, I think it's a tribute to how compatible our communication styles are, that you had this amazing comic book Healed, which is available as an add-on through our Kickstarter, by the way.
Well played.
That, I mean, it captured my imagination. So you and Griffin created it, and as soon as I read it, I was like, how can I help? And then you were like, you know, I think I maybe want to turn this into like a TV series or something. I was like, let's do a short film.
Yeah.
And it came together so easily, and we shot this incredible looking, like really polished looking short film, with our wonderful friend Arthur Laurie as our main actor. And yeah, and it just, I don't remember a single time where there was any sort of tension, or I was like, oh, I wish George would take care of this, or anything like that. We ping off of each other very well. And we have, even though we didn't meet until we were in our 20s, I feel like we had a similar background somehow, growing up in two separate states. But yeah, it just works.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I've said it, I hope I've said it a ton of times off camera, but I want to say it on camera in front of God, Zuckerberg, in the world. I mean, thank you for like trusting me to take it into this comic book arena. Like I said, there's, and maybe you're this way as well. Like, there are a ton of ideas always kicking around the head. But then at some point, one of them hits a tipping point where it's no longer, you know, like an idea in your head. It's like, I have to get this outside of my head, or I'll be very, very angry. Yeah.
I gotta say, it's a little like, it's, you know, trust but verify. You know, it's not like, oh, you came to me and was like, I've never made a comic book before, let's make a comic book. You have this incredible stable of titles that you have created now, and each one getting better and better, and you're working with incredible artists. So it wasn't some shot in the dark here. It was a seasoned comic book creator coming to me and saying, I like your idea, which was an incredible compliment and continues to be an incredible compliment to me. So
it's well, thank you. Yeah. You know, again, there's a lot of trust, and I understand well, hold on, this is my baby. And now, like, to get it made, you know, handing it over to somebody in some way, shape, or form, like, you know, it's a collaborative idea, but I'm the one reaching out to people, right? So I just, yeah, I appreciate the trust. You know, you know, it's been a blast putting this together. Like I've said over and over again, like, you know, thanks to you and your trust, I got to work with like 6 people who just have been blowing me away for a while, and now we get to actually make a thing with them, and it's been everything I would hope and more. So yeah, I just want to say thanks.
It's brought me further into the comic book community. It's been a lot of fun, like on Twitter, people reaching out and following me, and then I like go and I look up their work, and you know, I've always had like a foot in, but now, and I'm very excited to go to Comic-Cons again. And well, I'm not excited to go to Comic-Cons again because there is still a pandemic raging outside, but I am excited because we always had people coming up to the table, and especially if you were, you know, getting a soda or something, they'd be like, so which one did you write or draw, and I'd be like, none.
And now you get to triumphantly hold the thing up.
This one, this is me. That's my name. So then if there's a validation that comes with it, I'm not ashamed of that. Like,
so I want to also hand you the mic and let the people know. So last Friday we crossed the funding threshold. And over the weekend things have still been churning, but we were trying to figure out what the stretch goal was going to be. I asked my newsletter people, we asked our Kickstarter backers, we asked the universe, and so we've come up with a game plan. Diana, tell the people what the game plan is.
We are going to be adding more pages to the book, which is so super exciting because we have gotten to see the magic of the process and the great artwork that our artists were sending us all along as they built the stories. And now we get to share that in the book, and everybody gets to see the process and the extras, all the little extra stuff that's like extra juicy good.
Yeah. So at 8,000, we're going to add 4 more pages to the book. That'll help everything breathe a little bit, and like Diana said, share a little bit of the behind the scenes with y'all. Because the weekend just kept churning, we're actually 44% of the way there. And we got 4 days and a couple hours to do it in. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't backed yet and you think, oh, they're good, one, you're still missing out on a great book. This is just a way to get you the book. But yeah, so not only do you get the book, you get to help make more of the book.
Yes.
And I'm glad we're putting the money back in. We're putting into the thing that people are most interested in.
Yes, definitely.
So the last thing, before we let you go have your first nap of the morning, one of the things I've loved about this is that there are so many parents involved who, like you said earlier, both love our children and also understand how they will be the end of us when the apocalypse comes about. So for you, how is your child who we love going to get everybody killed during the apocalypse? Like I said, with me, one of 2 things is going to happen. Either my kid just won't be able to be quiet long enough to let the danger pass, or he will forget to lock the door after we've asked him 5 times to lock the door. And that's how it all ends.
Well, I think that it will be sheer irresponsibility. Probably motivated by some sort of mild discomfort, where so like say he's cold, so he rushes through, setting up the alarm system around the property, that sort of thing. I think that's a good possibility. Also, our story language is based on him, and he is the type that when facing down the wasteland warlord would be like, hey, watch your language. We don't curse around here. And also, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you. He is hopefully growing into somebody who speaks truth to power. And he has strongly held beliefs, and he is not afraid to tell you about them. So he may just piss off the wrong person. That's a good possibility as well.
Language was absolutely the most fun one to write with you. Like I said, all the stories I enjoyed for different reasons. I think language was the one where we were laughing the most as we were putting it together. And in a couple days, so language drawn by Jordi Perez, Andrew Crossley is doing the colors, and Andrew should have the colors in a couple days. Awesome. So before the campaign's over, we should be able to share a full preview with Justin Birch's lettering on top of that.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm looking forward to people reading.
Oh yeah, I love that one. And I got to read that to my kiddo. This is a book that I wouldn't say it's every story is all ages, but I'd say there's a story for every age in the book. There's like language in particular. I think if he was a few years younger, I wouldn't have maybe shared that one. It would have gone over his head. But there are other ones in there that younger kids will love, and there are ones in there that adults will love, and that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Then again, I'm acting like we're not going to be talking again in about an hour about something else. But you know, the magic of streaming.
Like I don't text you every time somebody contributes to the Kickstarter.
Again, thank you so much for trusting me. Thank you so much for coming up with this. Thank you for being a fantastic collaborator and partner. It's been great to go through this with you and kind of have somebody along the way to lean on. That hasn't been the way, you know, for most of these other Kickstarters. So it's been awesome to work with you on this end as well. And I'm looking forward to people checking out your brain, baby. And it's been an absolute blast, and it doesn't happen without you. So thank you. And let the people know where they can find you if they want to learn more about what you do and create.
I am Diana M. Porter on both Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find me on Facebook. Follow me there. And Elazon, my production company, is also has a Facebook page. But I also got to say, George, like you're doing so much and lifting up everybody involved in this book. But it's you. You were the one at the helm. And your brilliance and your amazing writing and your perseverance and creativity and all of that is so much of this book. And you really, I love seeing you fly. And I think that the world is better for the artwork that you've put into it. So thank you.
I'm going to be an adult and accept that. And so say thank you. Like I said, we'll probably be talking in an hour. But yeah, everybody else, we've got 4 more days. Midnight Friday Eastern is when the apocalypse ends. And then we start creating the apocalypse. Love to have you on board. And right now we're looking to add more pages to the book. So come on board, find a reward you'd like, and join our survival group. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great day, Diana. Bye.
Bye.
Now we just sit here